Okay then, to show the fitting of the actual runners, these are the runners which pull out, pull forward there, so the wheel is on the front there, and that's a soft close mechanism at the back there, as you can see. So you'll always know the back, come in pairs. To fit them, a lot of people might think they start at the bottom, when in actual fact you don't, you start at the top. Sometimes in cabinet making, or sometimes we do things counterintuitively. So what I have is here is two rods, so you can get a panel if you want. If fellas are doing these every day, they probably have a panel for the heights. So I have just the heights worked out, and I'm not going to go through that. It's just what I do is all very low tech. I have a distance here set on my sliding combination, or my combination square again, and that's just a distance that these guys are in from the edge. So I'm just going to put 3 marks there, and to show the edge of this will just touch off the line up there. So take them out of there just for a moment. I'll take that out of there, and I'll set this, and I'll set this, and I'll just make sure that's how to keep it parallel. So I don't use measurements. I cut the rods, and I just have vertical height rods there. I'm only doing a few of these, I'm just doing one kitchen. So I'll put that up there, I'll bring this forward here. I can literally just do that there, push that in, get my rod parallel again, make sure there's no gap between the two of them. Pull it tight, get my drill, and I just put in one hole. I want to be on centre. You notice that I'm using my wrist there to help the drill get on centre. So I'll just put a hole there, and put a hole there. Put in those 2 screws then, there just to hold it. And I just want to make sure that it's parallel. So this is it's nice and snug. And that's gone a bit high. I don't want that, so I need to get a hole in lower. So I just go to another hole. There's plenty holes in the actual tracking there to take an ass load of screws. So I'll just put in this one here. That pulls it down onto the rod. That just pulls it down onto the rod, so they're looking them in there like so. Very same thing again. Now the height's worked out. This one I think is 11 inches to the underside, and the other one there is 22 and 3/16 I think to the underside there. So I've them worked out. It's based off the height of the drawer, which is 283 plus a gap, 283 plus a gap, and then the top one is 140. So I'm not here to outline to makers, this is just for the viewer to see how we achieve it. So I've that in position there. I have the same thing here again. I just have it that distance back, alright, and I'll just come to my screwdriver again, get these on centre as best I can. As accurate as I can, drill a pilot hole, and you can see there isn't really an awful lot to it once you know what you're doing. Now these, you can buy the drawer packs, you specify whether it's a 500 pack you want, that's the finished unit, 500 from out to out. In this case this is a 600 unit. Companies then will supply the actual drawer pack to suit that unit, the internal measurement. Now I reiterate again, I always use Blum Fittings. I just like the brand and I've been using them for years. There are other types, they probably get cheaper, but the Blum are the best. You can see that it's galvanized steel that they're using in the actual fittings, and they've a lovely soft close mechanism there as well. So that's 2. You notice I'm only putting in 2 screws into each one at the moment. That's just to hold them in position. This is the 3rd one on the left hand side, and it sits straight on the bottom, so there's no measurements to be worried about there or concerned about. The only thing I do there is I take my sliding bevel and make sure that that distance is in there. It's only about 2 mil. 2 mil, you can guess it if you want, it'll still work. So we go in here now, we just drill a pilot hole here, and we drill a pilot hole here. Fix that there. Now, that's sweet. So, we just reverse the process. That's the left hand done. That screw out of there. I'll put in the extra screws afterwards, just make sure the drawer is in. When I have the fronts on, I come back and I just bang another few screws in there for strength, to give it more stability and strength. So we pop that over. Okay, pop that over there. We get our next 3 runners. Just need the top one, effectively. So, remember I'm on the right hand side now. So I get my 2 rods, add them in there. As I said already, if you were doing a lot of kitchens, you'd have a panel cut to that height, narrow panel, so to give you that height, you would have to be using 2 rods. But as I said, I don't do kitchens too often. Put that guy in position there, just get that. Might as well be hung for a sheep as a lamb. Pop that there, like so. The main thing is, again, just make sure that no gap appears between the battens. So that's that. Get a pilot hole and a pilot hole. Go to the screws. I'm using 4x16s on these. I might be able to use 20s after. I just don't want the screw to come through the other side there. 4x16s are ample for strength. No bother there at all. Can't see it, can't see it. Okay. Okay, nice and tight. Nice and tight. I got my buttons. Simple as ABC. Went for my next ones. In position there. In position there. Get my next runner. A little bit of brown tape there. Take that off it. Okay, put this guy in here. Now other guys might have other ways of doing these, I don't know, it's just I always try and find the Occam's razor approach, the simplest possible direct method of doing it when you don't have too many of them to do, or if you have a load of them to do even. I'm going here, and now the pilot hole is the most important. And needless to say, always make sure that the drill tips you're using, any tool you're using for that matter, is sharp, always sharp. Good drill tips in there that are not worn. If they get worn, chuck them away. They're not expensive in today's world. So, that guy in there. That guy in there. That's good enough. It's a little bit loose. I'll just give it a bit of gentle persuasion there. That's it. Ouch. Ouch, Olivia. Okay, and I've one more track then somewhere buried. Oh yeah. So this is my last one. Excuse me. Frog in the throat. Frog in the throat. I think comes with age. Okay. More tape. Now, last one goes in there. Come back this side of the camera again. Just push it in. Distance from the front. They're all equidistant now. Just hold that. You can put the screw on the bottom slightly off center, closer to the bottom, and that'll make the screw push it down. So the screw can have pulling power up or down, in or out, depending on what you're doing. Little skills you pick up as you go along the journey in life. Okay, now that's it. A little bit of tape there, just take off the tape. You don't want it impeding anything when you're doing it. So if I sit that guy up there now, this is one of the units. I forgot to put the legs on yet, or the official flint blocks to tape there, the legs. So that's my drawer.